They said something about, I don't know what it is, but it's provocative.
Let's say
So
live, bro. Let's say live.
I can see the numbers. Okay, I don't know, but I need to explain something. When we play some videos, I think I realized yesterday when I there's a play sign every now and now. When you press it and then the video plays and then you can hear it, yeah, on your end, MD.
Okay.
I'm not sure if our phones are the same or, but yeah, that's what I realized yesterday. Which sometimes LA can play a video and then me now you'll be like as if there's no sound coming out of it. It's just on pause until I press the play button and then yeah, well, you're gonna see it if it appears on your end.
All right.
Right.
So officially,
Intro.
welcome everybody to the chat, to the conversation, to whatever that's happening. You know, it's your boy LA. I got Venus, I got MD. You know, we're about to conversate. So yeah, make sure that you like, you subscribe, you comment, you make sure that everybody knows, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. So yeah, we're out here. So and follow every one of us, you know. But today we're here to talk about. I didn't know about this, but then Venus uh, put this to my attention, you know, and I was like, okay, that's interesting because he told me that, hey man, there's something going on in South Africa right now, and it seems like there's some online influencers, podcasters, whatever, whatnot, that are going to the parliament because somehow the government is trying to regulate. Uh, okay, just Venus, I want to ask you right now, what are they regulating? Are they regulating what is being said? So if you're a content creator, are they regulating what you can say? Maybe you can't criticize the government or whatnot, or are they more focused on the money you can make? So if you're online and you're making money, are they like, hey man, you're making this much money, you need to give us a piece of that? So what is it that they're regulating? Are they financially regulating the online content creation space, or are they uh, censoring the online creating space?
Uh, I would say it's a whole spider diagram. By the way I look at it. But the more we pay, the more we listen, we watch these videos. I'm sure you're all gonna have your own perceptions, own interpretations. But I would say it's the whole spider diagram. They're regulating the podcast space, freedom of speech, you know, and also I would say the media houses are worried on the money, because I mean the traditional media used to be the it thing back in the days. I mean, they'll spend like 300,000 rands on an advert after generations, or maybe during the ad breaks for a 30 seconds advert before, like maybe almost 20 years ago. But now the thing, it seems to be decreasing. It's going more towards the podcast, the people who are influencers, that advertising revenue. So the main stations, the traditional media, are losing out, and then the
Okay,
podcasters
can
are
I
the new
wait?
thing.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
let me not say.
Before we get there, because even myself, I want to say something based on that. But before we even get there, I just want to know, what is the fight? What is the government fighting with against online creators? Is it based on money, or is it based on what they can say and stuff?
That's why I'm saying it's a spider diagram. It's money. It's what they can say. I don't know the other third thing you mentioned. Maybe you can remind me that other one.
No,
It's
no, 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 no.
money.
It's just those two things. It's either they want the money that the online creators make, or they want to control what the
Oh,
online creators can say. So is it what
yeah.
they
On
can
the
say, or is it what type of money they're making?
Of course, money is involved because at the end of the day, there's a new law that came. I don't know, maybe how many months ago, maybe less than 8 months ago here in South Africa, where they passed a law where they said content creators or influencers should disclose their income to the government, meaning SARS, so they can start taxing them. So that's the money side of it. And then there's this regulatory regarding to what the content creators themselves can say, because now it seems like, as I said before earlier, there's a decrease, like in the number,
Okay,
like
before you get to the explanation, I don't want you to explain too much. I just wanted the
yeah,
I'm a headline in a
yeah.
way. So
It's the money
right
and
now,
freedom of speech.
okay, so it's money and freedom of speech. Yes, that's what I
Yeah,
want.
that's a
So
simplest I can put it.
all right, because we are going to talk about it. So we're going to explain further as we go. So, really, for the viewers out there, so what's happening is the government is having hearings and whatnot in parliament with the online creators, podcasters mainly or mostly. Um, so there's this idea of they're making this much money, so we gotta get a piece of that. And also they have this idea of they can speak freely and maybe they must be careful on what they say, type of
Yeah,
thing. So
they must be
now,
censored.
yeah, so now we're gonna talk about how we view that and how we see that, and also we want you to comment down below and make sure that um, you share your view as well. But then uh, we also want to question things about, maybe even agree with some that we do agree with, but also with that we want to have a discussion not only amongst ourselves but also, you know, with anyone watching, so you can share your view as well. So uh, I think Venus, you can go ahead and then you can explain maybe from the beginning, just briefly to summarize, so that myself and MD can maybe come in and maybe comment on whatever we're hearing, and then from
Okay,
there
okay.
we'll start maybe sharing some evidence that we have based on that. So maybe you can briefly break it down for us and the viewers.
Well,
Okay, months ago. Okay, you wanna say
sorry,
something empty?
yeah, sorry to cut you, man. No, I wanted to understand because I think at the first place, I didn't understand. I wanted to understand that okay, you said that content creators are going into parliament, or parliament going to content creators, right? So no, I want to understand, man. Which
No, no,
like
no.
what?
I get what you're saying. Like,
Yes, I want to understand
okay,
what.
if
Yes, I want to understand what is exactly going on between the two.
okay, the content creators, the podcasters went to parliament. There were some. I'm not sure if there were someone or what, but they went to parliament, and then the parliament is trying to re-regulate the podcast space. So by regulating, they want to impose some laws. You know, traditional media, your TV, your SABC, DSTV, ENCA, news, whatever that's out there, the traditional media we see on television, right? They want, you know, that media space has certain rules and regulations that govern it. You know, there are certain laws and rules that can influence how the journalist report certain things, certain news, you know, all of that. There are laws. I'm sure if you listen to this, if you watch DSTV, there's always this advert that always comes up that says, this is by broadcast complaints of what South Africa. If you not we impartial. We are what. If you're feeling we are not living up to the standard, you can report us to the whatever PCCMA something something. So they are trying to, just like the traditional media is regulated. They're trying to impose that, put that on podcasters, influencers. So they are
Oh, no.
trying to set up laws that are going to govern the podcasting space, the social media influence space.
Right. Now, like
Yeah,
I do understand. So you are
yeah.
saying they are somehow amending the laws or the rules that were set before. Now they want to control the podcasters or social and content creators, what. So they want to control them like
Yeah,
through
but they
their
won't be as they won't
Yeah,
be
their
as
but yeah,
open as
yeah,
you
yeah,
are saying it. But that's what they're trying to do at the end of the day.
yeah.
so now they want to tax the earnings from social platforms.
Yes.
There's a law like that's uh, forcing content creators as a whole to disclose their earnings to the SARS, South African Revenue Services.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically they want to tax the content creators, but not only tax,
Eh,
also they want to control what they can say.
yeah,
Hey.
that's what the
Ah, yeah.
regulations come with, because you can't set regulations without control. At some point, you wanna control.
You see,
Yeah.
like our country is way back from like developing and also enforcing what is written in black and white. You see, in our constitution, we have this part of freedom of speech. Like, how come you can give me a right of freedom of speech, and yet you're going to tell me what to say? Yet I have the freedom of speech.
It's no longer
Which
freedom of
means
speech.
it's no longer, yes, which means now we are controlled in what we can say. You know what I mean? But then let me play this video right now. It's I think it's in Parliament or whatnot, but they
No, I think it's the one where they discussing the money. First of all, how much the podcasters are earning potentially with the graphs.
all right, let me play it. So you see it's titled where all the advertising revenue, where is all the man advertising revenue coming to, you know? Okay, let's hear what they have to say or what they're calculating.
would be the largest channel in South Africa. Bigger would be the largest channel in South Africa. Bigger than SABC1, which has 22.6.
Okay, wait. Uh, are they making what? Are they using a specific channel here to make an example, or are they using a hypothetical? Are they just creating a channel out of nowhere, or are they making an example of a channel that really exists? Because right now,
I
when I'm
think
reading there, it's written if a YouTube channel, if YouTube was a channel, it would be the largest channel in South Africa. So first of all, I think if YouTube was a channel, it would be a largest channel in every country in the world, just like how it is right now. So I don't understand what
yeah.
they're trying to say. But let's play the video. Yeah, okay, say what you want to say.
No, I wanted to. What is this I wanted to say? I wanted to say it's them exaggerating, but again, it's true because YouTube is huge than our traditional media in each and every country here in just this African continent alone. I'm sure of that. But they are exaggerating, but again, it is true. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to say.
I don't think they're exaggerating. I think by papa about I think they're doing too much. I don't think they're exaggerating because YouTube would be the
It's
biggest
global.
channel in every country in the world. So it doesn't matter if it's South Africa, England, Switzerland, Australia, Brazil, whatever,
Word.
whichever country where YouTube is, it's already a bigger channel than any channel on TV in any other country because everyone watches YouTube. So at the end of the day, it's not only YouTube, even Netflix is big, even Amazon is big. Like so many companies are big. So for me, seeing them put this down, it's crazy to me because it's not an excuse you should use if this is true for every country. Social media is bigger than news. Twitter is bigger than any newspaper. That's where we get the news. So now are you gonna start saying, hey, Twitter or X would be the biggest news publication platform if it was a newspaper?
You know,
Wait,
based on what you're saying right now. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, empty.
like I want to check in terms of news. Who's a leading feeder currently between X and Facebook?
X.
X is leading,
Yeah.
but
It may
sometimes
not be the numbers, but things happen faster on X. They are right now like this. And then I think Facebook always catches up later. That's my opinion.
Facebook is always
but
late.
I think most people. Okay, let's use it on my personal um experience. Most of the people I know, they use Facebook.
It's-
Okay, there are people
yeah.
who use X, but they are not much than people that I know who uses Facebook. So
That's what I'm saying.
I think Facebook is leading. I don't know why, but I'm saying this. I think Facebook is leading because, like as I said, that according to my own experience, most people I know they use Facebook instead of Twitter.
You know what I can say to that, bruh? Like, I agree with you, but I would say Facebook has more users than X. But the news, they reach quicker or faster on X. You know,
Okay,
I'm sorry to make an example of this. The death of AKA was first, I think, announced on X, and then it followed later on Facebook. Facebook has the
but
most users. It's always been the sort of traditional social media network, but X is it's like now instant. But
okay,
I can almost put X and TikTok in like like this.
yeah,
But I'm sure
but
TikTok has a much more larger usage than X. But on
yeah,
X, interactive communication happens right now in real time.
but like okay, from that example that you've just made now, we cannot prove that the matter of AKA was first announced on X. We cannot prove that. That is the thing.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
and
No,
another thing,
you
I
can.
want to
You can prove it.
how?
How?
You can go and check the dates and the time of the announcement.
The, of the
Yes, but we
announcement.
cannot go. On X. There are specific sources that did announce the death of AKA, and also on Facebook, there are sources that announced. So you're going to tell me that you're going to check all these sources.
But also, you know what's the most important part about Twitter or X? You see, with the AKA matter, on X, you can see the video of him being shot. You can see him being shot. Whereas on Facebook, they're going to cancel that video. They're not going to play it. We're not going to be
Yeah,
able to see it on Facebook, but you can see it on X,
Cause
which
me,
makes
yeah,
it more trendable because if that's even a word. It makes it more viral because now
Yeah.
people are seeing it for the first time and they're talking about it.
It's shown
You're
as it
getting
is
it
on X,
uncensored.
because on X, bro, I'm not sure what time it happened, but it was around 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. the day it happened. And we were in a room with a friend of mine who was like, hey, look what just happened. I'm like, okay, I ignored it. But minutes later, I'm like, hey, boo, what's happening? This video is it's already like, it around 10, between 10 and 11 p.m., if I'm not mistaken.
But let's not talk too
Same
much
day it
about
happened.
AKA because now
Yeah, let's
it's
get.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, yeah.
continue. So let me play this video real quick. Let
Yeah,
me
because
play
you're
it
going to
and
lose track
then.
of that. Because this is regulated.
So let's
Would be
hear.
the largest channel in South Africa, bigger than SABC One, which has 22.6 million monthly viewers. Video streaming, you look at the past 12 years, it has this is exponential growth. But what I wanted to move to is the ad spend and the impact
Like
this
you
has
can't
had.
put more volume that side,
If you look at global
very
video
low that
views
side.
I think
and the number of
I think the
users,
Yeah,
videos.
but
the video is low.
where is all the revenue
It's the video that is low.
going? To internet. Look at television dropping, look at radio, out of home, all of the traditional media. The figures that came out of the Competition Commission hearing shows that more than 50% of all advertising is going to the digital platforms. These are unregulated. I know our colleagues from the digital platforms are going to help us understand this new world, but indeed, we talk about regulatory parity as a really, really important concept when we talk about the regulation of media in South Africa. I just wanted to pull three ideas. The white paper talks about
Okay. Can I just say something to that?
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
my question was, you see, when is mentioning that SAPC has around, it's funny that he mentions SAPC because SAPC is government owned. So it's crazy that he's talking in parliament and he's talking about a platform that is owned by the government, which means he's on the side of it because it's part of the government, it's part of the parliament. I'm not sure which party he represents. Even if he doesn't represent any party, maybe he's a worker of the government. But regardless, so he makes an example of SAPC. He's saying SAPC has 26 million viewers, right? And then when he goes to social media, he's saying that social media, um, YouTube or whatever, podcast or whatever, in the last 12 years has grown exponentially. He didn't say any number, he didn't say anything, he just said exponentially. So now my question is, okay, fine. You're saying SABC has 26 monthly viewers. Why
Million
didn't you
views.
million viewers? Why didn't you mention how much uh, online YouTube content creators, South African content creators, how many viewers they have? Because you knew that there's no one viewer. I mean, there's no one content creator in South Africa that has 26 million views per month. There's no one. So probably that's one of the reasons why I didn't mention it. But then to me, what I see is a plan, and also hypocrisy. But it's a plan because they know that they want to censor, they want censorship on the online content creators and podcasters more specifically, and also they want the money, like we've spoken about. They want to tax them. But I think more than texting, they want to control what they can say, because it's not about the views and it's not about how much money they make, because that would mean that they're speaking for media companies. And why would the government be speaking on the behalf of media companies? That's weird, you know. But then, fine, it does not make sense why they're going against content creators. And on that diagram or whatever he was showing or whatever presentation he was doing, it's weird because it's unrealistic, because he spoke about SABC and he just said YouTube. So you can't just say YouTube. YouTube is big. There's so many people on YouTube. Who are you talking about? Maybe if they made an example with MacG, and MacG is not a political podcast, so they don't talk about politics that much. They just talk about regular stuff. So who are they really talking about? So the only thing that they want is to make sure that they know what these people can talk about, whether they listen or not, but they're sure that these people are not talking bad about us. And also, too, they just want to take money from them. And they're not even making that much money, you know. So I don't understand. So what you guys have to say?
MT, you go ahead, I go ahead.
Uh, okay. I had some. I think it's network problems, so I didn't get like all the points like quietly. But what I get from LA and also the video, um, that that guy who was demonstrating the graph there. Okay, for SIPC, he gave the exact number as LA like said. He gave the exact number, and when he comes back on these social platforms like YouTube, like it doesn't give the exact number or numbers. It doesn't make even examples. That means like whatever he is talking about, or should I say, he is biased. From his biasness, I found that he didn't do the background check of YouTube or what, but he came forward to. I think that is the marketing strategy. They are still pushing this. um what can I say? Excuse me. They are still
Regulation.
pushing this. Yes, they are still pushing this thing of people want to go back to SIPC because he speaks about advertising. I think he's trying to catch more clients or what, but he didn't do his background check on YouTube and everything, and he didn't do like the exact examples and numbers on YouTube. I think the guy is jeopardizing the channel.
Hmm.
I agree with like 100%, because I was gonna say that ukuthi this guy into ayenzile what he did. He just perfectly. He was on point with. I'm not sure if he got his numbers right, but I'll take him as he said them to us. He gave us what 26 million on SAPC,
Yeah,
and then when it comes to YouTube, it just says YouTube. But how many creators are on YouTube? Are they all doing 26 million views? I mean, as content creators ourselves, we know the hardship of content creation. Like, you don't do 26 million views on your first 10 videos or 20 videos. That's something that's going to be accumulated as time goes by, you know? So
yeah,
it's unrealistic. It's just saying YouTube, but there's not even a million. I'm sure there's billion. Okay, maybe let's say 500 million content creators on YouTube alone. So
yeah,
how LA made an example of MacG. If they were referring to MacG for an example, they would know which MacG sometimes in 3 days or maybe within a week they will do 300,000, maybe 1 million views in a week. That's MacG alone. You know what percentage of YouTube is that? So I
Like,
think
okay, okay.
SAPC, I think SAPC still does better than a standard content creator on even the most established ones on YouTube. And this person, he said something about he doesn't. He also said something about not knowing whether he's working for the government or what. I mean, I think that guy is from a private sector. That's just my take on it. He's from a private sector, and then he's representing private sector interests, but he's hiding under the umbrella and quoting the public broadcaster or whatever
Yeah, that's
stations.
possible. That's
The,
possible. Yeah.
you know, so he's hiding under that umbrella because as soon as he announces himself as being a private, whether it's NCA or whether it's I'm just making an example. What's this other one? Newsroom Africa, whatnot. It's gonna be we're gonna see his true colors, you know. And I don't even think SAPC has such people, capable
Yeah, me
people.
too. I don't believe it.
Even if it's not that capable, but in this case, SAPC
Maybe
has such
someone, there
capable
is
people.
SAPC 1, SAPC 2, SAPC 3, SAPC News. All of them, they made 26 million, but not one channel.
Imagine, imagine that, and it's comparing. SAPC is something that's South African, not even African, but South African. Let's just put it on our on our southern part of the map, and it's comparing that thing. YouTube is global. Like, it's an unfair, unrealistic comparison. But let me not say anymore. Maybe I'm sure there's other clips we need to look at. But that guy,
All right, let me
it's
play. Let me play.
propaganda. It's propaganda. Let me just say it's propaganda.
Okay, right now, let me play a clip that is on. I mean, it's at the parliament, So here we can get a clue. So this podcaster, what's his name?
S-
The both kid.
SMWX.
Yeah, what's his name? Sizwe.
Steve Mpofu Walsh, but his podcast name is SMWX. He was one of
All
the
right.
podcasters who were invited in parliament. Today, I think it's 24 today, right? It happened today.
Let's be honest. They were not invited. Let's not use.
They were
Uh,
summoned.
let's not use that.
Uh,
Let's,
Hey, okay, now we're back.
MT, can you check your sound there? Can you check your mic out? Say something. Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it
We
is.
actually is maybe you can rejoin the link again.
All right, it's fine. Ifix ethola mhlawumbe ama-earphone or something, yabo ama-earphone anentambo mhlawumbe.
The mic. Even if it
Unayo
doesn't have a
mic?
mic.
Okay, thola ama-earphone. All right, so what was I saying again?
Uh, Susan Mpofu Walsh,
Oh
who's in
yes,
parliament.
oh okay, oh yes. I was saying, good thing, they're not invited. Let's not use the word invited.
I
They
use
are called.
summoned.
They are called. Yes, you can use someone, but they are called for a hearing, a parliamentarily, a parliament. Okay, it's late now, guys. Okay,
Data bundles
so
are depleted. English data bundles are depleted.
when you're a multilingual speaker, you have to, choose these words, when you speak so many languages. Okay, fine.
Parliamentary disciplines or something.
But it's a
Hearing.
parliamentary hearing. So they are called for a parliamentary hearing, you know, just like anybody, just like how they call some political people to come for a hearing or whatnot, ministers or whatnot. So it's a hearing. So it's almost like court, but it's not really court. But there are examples of the people they are talking about, and they're there to question them. So it's a hearing. So you can't be invited for a hearing. You are summoned or called upon to appear in the hearing. God damn, they tried to put Zuma in jail because of not attending a hearing. But that's another story. But to me, okay, no, let me not give my opinion right now. I wanted to wait for MD so that I can play this video. So guys, give me a second. Yes. So as I'm on right now, we're going to play a video about Sizwe Mpofu, who is a online content creator that makes podcasts. For him specifically, funny that he was there because he's the guy that is mainly more focused on political conversations. He's generally more focused on political conversations. So he's one guy that I was so shocked that he was called onto politics, not because I was really shocked, but because he speaks about politics, which gives me an idea that, oh, you're getting a guy that is speaking about politics to this hearing. What does that really mean? Because is someone that speaks about some of the people that were in that room. So is that because he's speaking about them? Can you try and speak again, then?
Yeah, so kunjani?
Okay, can you try and do echo cancellation? What's that other thing? Say something.
Yeah, me right, man.
Yeah, you're perfect. You're good. 100%. So I was saying, I was also a little bit shocked that they called this guy to come and appear in front of Parliament because one, he's Dalimpofu's kid, right?
Yeah.
Venus. So it's Dalimpofu's kid, right?
Yeah.
And Dalimpofu is very involved in politics. He's the guy who's a lawyer, right? Who represents politicians in courts and whatnot. So it's someone who has, because I've seen his podcast as well, sometimes he invites politicians to speak with them. So I was kind of shocked that they called that guy to go and speak there because one, he said that they called him because he speaks about politics, but also two, he's a kid or a child of someone who's involved in politics. Is it that them trying to have almost like a man on the inside type of thing because he's a guy involved in podcast, but at the same time he's involved in politics? Are they maybe using him as like a bridge? So they know if they take him to Parliament and they question him, maybe the way he's going to answer or whatnot is not going to be as bad as someone who really does not care about them, who's going to go in there and say, hey, man, this is my channel. This is what I do. You can't tell me what I do. This is all bullshit. Caesar is someone who's going to say, guys, okay. He's going to speak nicely. It's going to be all those things. I don't know, but let's just play the video before I talk too much because I'm talking too much now. Let me play the same. So, okay.
Person.
Here's the guy. He's talking right here, right now.
Deputy Minister, Chairperson, it's a great joy to be with you, and thank you very much for the kind welcome. On the first question, are podcasts a problem? I would strongly resist that framing. And I would suggest that we need to view podcasts as a potential island of excellence within the South African economy right now. When we consider the very difficult position in which the South African economy finds itself, podcasts have risen as Black-led, independent, and financially sustainable economic entities. And I think that's a particularly important island of excellence that not only we need to think about regulating, but that we need to consider how we actually assist and help, not just from a truth perspective, but from an economic perspective. So I'd strongly resist the urge to characterize podcasts as some kind of problem, and I would rather invite us to consider how we treat them as an emerging exemplar of excellence in the country at the moment, warts and all. As far as the regulatory question goes, I think we have to be very careful here to consider what it is that we are regulating. And for me, there are three distinct areas of regulation that are apt. The first is you regulate harm. And those kind of harms are dignity harms like hate speech or defamation. So what are we regulating? We're trying to regulate some kind of harm here to people's dignity. And there, for me, we have very effective ways through our courts of regulating egregious assaults on people's dignity and defamation. And the question I would ask is, why do we think that those existing mechanisms, which are enforced through an independent judiciary, are inappropriate in this case? So in terms of the regulation of overt harms like hate speech or defamation, we have regulations. The other thing we would regulate is explicitness, overt violence, foul language, inappropriate nudity. And there really is a need to regulate. But there, for me, platforms already regulate to a large extent. If they don't, then I think that that may be an area that we need to speak about more seriously. Again, there are also legal regulations for egregious violations of those areas of
Can you
regulation.
pause for a moment?
But also,
Sure.
Yeah, because now it seems like it's going forever, this clip, but we're gonna resume
Yeah,
it
but I
later.
think, we get the point. Maybe we can even stop there. Maybe you don't even have to go forward because I think he's made his point.
Yeah. So who's
So,
gonna?
oh, I thought you wanted to say something. But I can say something. Unless MD, you want to say something?
No, you can say it. I'll go after you.
I wanted to say that I don't disagree a lot with Sizwebo because I do agree that already the platforms have regulations. So on YouTube, you can't do defamation. So if I say MD is a woman abuser, MD is a robber, it goes into people's houses, it jumps in and steals stuff. But then we find out that that's not true. I was not telling the truth. I was lying. Then MD has the right to sue me because now I said something that was not true, but I said it in a way that it sounded true. And then we found out that it's not true. That means that I lied and I tried to character assassinate MD. Then the government does not need to get involved in that because already through social media, there's laws already within there. But yes, you can also include the courts and whatnot because it's defamation, But when, and to just to make another example, if I'm out here, we're doing a podcast, and out of nowhere, I just get naked, then that's not right because it's nudity. We don't need nudity online like that, especially explicit nudity. There are platforms for that. Social platforms are not for that, right? So maybe that can be regulated.
It is
But then
regulated.
it exactly, that's the whole point. It's already regulated. So what is it that the government wants to regulate? What is it?
Like the only thing they want to regulate, um, according to me, I think they're all about the earning. Okay, like they can say they want to regulate uh like the freedom of speech, things that you say, things you talk about, things you post and everything. But already like these platforms, they're already like regulating that. So I think they are not being straight and say that, okay, look guys, we know that you are getting more on that side. So now we are thinking that we need to tax you to balance our economy. Because if 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 you can listen to this boy, who's this boy?
Season powerful.
Caesar Pope. Oh, he's a son of Dalimbo, that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. If you can listen to him when he starts his statement, he said that podcast is not a problem. Rather, like you can call it an Iceland for South Africans currently, not only South Africans, and also um, from those podcasts, they are making good, and they are also contributing to the economy. You see,
Mm-hmm.
like he does explain that very well, and he even explains that already these platforms, they already regulated explicitity, nudity, defamation, and everything. So now our parliament or our government, uh, I think he's ducking with I don't know what, but he's okay, not fucking, but like these people are not
It's
like
okay.
these people are not being straight. They must just say, okay, guys, you know that you are doing good, you are earning more, we want to tax you. That's it. They don't need to hide and what hayi na. Abaqonde nje first basho ukuthi njengamanje siyazi nidla imali.
Sifuna
So
imali. Sifuna imali.
siyayifuna leyo mali. Finish. Yeah.
But you know, with
What you
my
have to
take
say,
on it,
Finas?
from what you've said, guys, I get the
Yeah.
money part, and I'm also I would say I'm 40%, 30 or 40% on the money part side. Which is bafuni mali, they want money. But
Yeah.
me, my take on it is on the control side. Like it's beyond money, bro. Cause like what I've seen in the podcast space alone, not other any other form of content creation, but in the podcast space alone, with this guy, Citizen Paul for a while, I'm a subscribe on his channel. I like that guy. You know? So from what I've seen, this guy, just make an example out of him. This guy has been able to host some of the most whatever political figures in the South African political system. And once upon a time, the NC government, if I'm not mistaken, they even bad uh, didn't want their
Finas, Finas,
own members.
uh, can you um, put your mic a little bit far away from you, just a little bit? Your mic.
I'm not sure
Put
if
it
it's gonna.
uh,
Maybe maybe I'm speaking too loud. How's it now?
do it a bit further, a bit.
Okay, up or now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, so the NC government, no, not the NC government, the NC have barred stopped some of their members to be hosted on his show because of how influential he is in his political views on certain things. Because the podcast space is about expressing your own opinions, being free from everything. So because he has the reason he has, I think maybe if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look it up. I think more than 300 subscribers, 300,000 subscribers. They are there for his opinion, and then when he brings all these different political figures, when they get there, no matter how much they lie, he will always dissect, you know, go deeper in those things. Maybe not during that show, something separate, and you break them down. What it is, what's 2 plus 2. Break everything down. He has that following of people who want things to be broken down, not in the way the traditional media we will usually break things down. Because of the podcast space, you have freedom of speech, whatever. You are free to express your own opinion. So that's why he has all this opinion, this following. So
So,
my thing is, it
now,
is 40% or 30% on the money, but most importantly, they are seeing the incoming danger to them. Because, like, when you're free to say whatever you want to say, and you have certain number of people who are following you as you're expressing your opinion, and they are going with that, they agree with your opinion, and then you invite these uh, NC political figures who are supposed to be in charge of the government, and then you question them in a certain way, and then you break it down in a way that normal traditional media would not. So it's a problem for them. It's a threat. So I
okay,
say 60% or 70% of this whole thing, it's about the freedom of expression, free expression from the independent broadcasters like Susan Popo Walsh and Meg G, whoever is out there, even us, as we are discussing this right now. That's the bigger prize. That's the trophy.
okay. So now you are trying to tell us that um, they want to control the podcast, because on podcast uh, we get unfiltered stories. So now they want to give us the scripted stories to hide their corruptness, because like,
Yes.
yes,
Exactly.
like, we won't hide with the bush. We all know that South African political field, those people are very corrupt. They are ruthless. They are greedy. You see, they are all criminals, should I say? So now they want to control. Yes, they are criminals. They know that. They
It's
know,
true. They are. Yeah.
and
They
and and
know, and we know.
and
Everybody knows, bro.
Everybody
everybody knows.
knows. It's
Yes,
open
like,
secret.
Yeah, it's open
everybody,
secret.
yes, everybody know that we are being led by wrong people. Our right country is led by wrong people, and if you can check on the on parliament and even the cabinet, this genuine thing, you can find that 30% of the people who are there are ex-convict, and most of them, they were arrested for fraud, um, stealing,
Corruption.
robbery, and everything. So you can see that these people are capable of anything, and yet they say they are leading a country to the better. So now, like, I really do get this now. Now they want to control the podcast where we get real stories. Because I remember this other time where Gaten Mackenzie was being interviewed. I'm not sure whether it was Penwell or this Sizwe guy. I'm not sure. But I think it was this guy, Sizwe, because he's more focused on politics. And then he mentioned that he was once arrested for, it was fraud, robbery, hijacking. Yet he's the minister. I'm talking about the minister here. a
Yeah,
person a person who's leading like, I would say, a department,
of
you
arts
see,
and culture, bro.
of arts and culture, a very high personnel, but he's an ex-convict. Look at this kid. They say, if you were once arrested, you are having a criminal record and everything, you can't be employed. But go there, check all those people. You find them they are ex-convicts, but they are there. And they want to control these podcasts because they don't want us to talk about that. They will say, man, bazovuka emaqandeni lawa mesibanika ithuba lokukhuluma ngale nto man. Abahlale bebhayiza. Buka ukuthi uma usuna 65, you have to retire. Yet our president is almost 70 something. Not only him, also all those people that are working there on
in
parliament.
the parliament, yeah.
You see, most of them, they are old, but they don't want us to talk about that. That is why I want to control this podcast thing. They want us to advertise their businesses. Hey. These people.
Yeah, and me too as well. I agree with you, MD. I agree with you, Venus. I think it's bigger than money. Yes, 100%. They want the money. They want to take the money from these guys because money. Because I don't buy this thing of the economy. Because if you're on a YouTube channel and you're making money and you're South African, that's money that is coming from nowhere, not nowhere, but it's not coming from South Africa. It's coming from the platform YouTube, and YouTube is an American company. So which means if you make money on YouTube, you've brought money into the country.
Mina, I think the money that you earn on YouTube, it is the same money from South Africa. Look, if you can check Mark G, currently he's the big platform in South Africa, and I think he's on top 5 in the top 10 in the world. When we but most of his subscribers or followers are from here, South Africa, and you cannot stream any video or anything on YouTube without data. You need data. Data is money. It's very expensive. You need to pay for data so that you can stream. So I think it is the same money that our people use so that they can watch his content.
But let me just say this before you come in, Venus. Yes, you are right. But in terms of, when on YouTube, when you are making money, the money that you make, it's from ads. When you're watching a video and you see ads playing.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Because if you can check all those ads, okay, not all those, but 80% of those are local brands or local companies.
Yes, but those companies, who did they pay for them to have their adverts on YouTube?
They pay YouTube.
And where is YouTube from?
I think where is YouTube from? Exactly. US.
It's from America.
Yeah.
So even if they are from South Africa, but if me, for example, I want to have an advert on YouTube, I'm gonna pay YouTube for them to put the same way that if you have an advert in South Africa, you pay SABC to play your advert. So I'm gonna pay YouTube to play my advert, and then they're gonna play my advert through content creators that are similar or around the idea or somewhat. I want this word, but whatever those channels are talking about, it's similar to the product that I'm selling. So if I make music and I want to sell music, so my advert is going to appear on music videos, it's going to appear on music shows, music podcasts, whatnot, because it's a music thing. But if I'm a politician, it's going to appear on ads that are on the news, on political podcasts. So whatever, if it's sports, it's going to appear on sports content, whatnot. So it's going to resemble, or it's going to be put on the platforms that resemble the field that you want to sell. And YouTube does that. So you pay YouTube to push you. And YouTube is an international company. It's just a weapon that is global. We can all use it. So now what I'm saying is, even if the South African company is paying the overseas company to advertise for them. When I get the money, I don't get it from Sunlight. I don't get it from Oros. I don't get it from Dove or whatever that they're selling.
So
I get the money from YouTube because they paid YouTube and YouTube is paying me to play those adverts. You know, so which means when I get the money, it's not coming from South Africa. It's coming from overseas. Even though not only South Africans, Nigerians, Americans, wherever, Switzerland, Russia, whoever that is watching YouTube, or whoever that has a company, they can just buy advertisement from YouTube.
Okay, let me. I've got 2 questions to ask, and these questions are strictly for you, right? Yes. The first question: Have you ever come across with the ad? Okay, let's say the product that is being sold where? Maybe Russia or Chile.
No, but
okay. I just wanted the one with answer. Here's the second question. Here's the
but I want
second
to add
question.
something. Let me add something.
No, I would give you that. I would give you the platform to add. Now, yes. Now I'm coming to the second question. I'm coming to the second question now.
Okay.
I'll just make a typical example between me, you, and Venus, right? Venus is selling what? Is selling maybe a car. Okay. No, I don't think car is a good example for that.
Cell phone, sneakers.
Yeah. No, I'll just go straight. Now, there's a man that you need to get from me, right? You need to get money from me, but I can't give you direct due to some circumstances. And I will give the money to Venus to give you. Who gave you the money?
Venus.
Venus, who gave LA the money? I gave you the money. You gave LA the money. Who gave LA the money?
Venus.
I get what you're saying, but who's the owner of the platform? Who's your enabler? Who's your enabler?
But the platform can't just give you money out of the blue.
Yeah.
For no reason. For no reason. They can't just give you the money. I'm the one who gave LA the money.
Yeah,
the thing is, you.
But here's the thing. You know, even we spoke of our leaders being corrupt. You know, in corruption, there's always a middleman.
Yeah.
You know, so like YouTube, not in a bad way, is a middleman.
Yeah. So now
who connects us, because without YouTube we wouldn't be connected.
Yeah. So I want to give LA I want to give LA the platform to explain his answers, right?
But I want to say something earlier though.
Yes.
You can go ahead.
Right. I got the first answer. He said no. Then I didn't quite get the second answer. But he said Venus, and I went to Venus. Venus, who gave LA the money? I just want the one word answer, then we can proceed.
Okay, maybe I said YouTube, but okay, okay, wait. So like, okay,
one word
advertising.
Explain. One word.
Okay, no, but I'm trying to remind myself.
Who gave LA the money?
Wait, are we sure again faster, so that I get the content again of the whole thing?
Right. There's a money that needs to get to LA. Right. I give you the money to give LA the money. Who gave LA the money?
Okay. You gave LA the money, but because it's my platform, I'm the middleman. I gave LA the money.
Oh, okay. I
In,
don't know.
in this case, because I'm sure we are referring to you as YouTube, right?
But you are
Uh,
double
or
speaking,
me
right
as
As an
now.
YouTube.
advertiser, I'm an
Don't
advertiser.
double speak. Don't double speak, Venus. Say one answer. It's either
Finish.
you or
Oh, me.
MD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
Okay,
what I want.
say,
Okay, MD gave me the money to give it to LA.
Uh-uh. My question is, there's a man that there's a man that needs to get to LA, but I can't give
Eh,
LA money like direct due to some circumstances. Now I have to give you the money. Look, I have to take out my money and give you Venus to
yeah,
give LA
it is
the money.
it
Now
is
who
coming
gave
from you.
LA
It is coming from you.
finish?
You gave LA the money,
Thank you. You can take over LA.
but I'm sure he has another say LA when it comes to that.
I did say, I said I gave them, Venus
He,
gave me the man.
Yeah.
but in this case, Mina, I say MD gave you the money. But yeah,
Okay.
Mina,
let's
Mina,
not drift
Mina,
away
Mina,
from this.
I mean, I can
Okay, let
support
me
my
Because
point.
respond.
I can say I gave you the money to advertise my product. I can say that I gave you the money to advertise my product. YouTube
no,
gave you the
Mina,
money for what?
For
I understand
advertising the
perfectly.
product,
Whose product?
Let me say this, guys. Let me say this.
your product.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Okay, I'm not well versed with the whole YouTube thing, né? But here's what I've seen. Excuse me. I will make an example with Make G podcast. Yeah, I watch those guys. Yeah. What happens is sometimes before the show or after the show or in the middle of the show, somewhere there, they would advertise Hollywood's bets. They will even give you what's this thing called, some promo thing, so you get a discount when you sign up. You know, from like my perspective, from how I see things, in that case, I would say Hollywood reached out directly to McG. But sometimes I will watch me again on the same thing, maybe before or after or in the middle. While I'm watching, there's gonna be another random advert that's gonna come up, and that's why my answer first send was in two ways. Somewhere in the middle or in the beginning or towards the end, there will be another maybe Vaseline advert, or Pampers, whatever, And then, to me, the way I see it, I'm not saying I'm right. It's just the way I'm thinking. I'm seeing this thing. I'll be like, okay, maybe there'll be the amount that comes directly from YouTube, because it's not included within the Make You podcast. But in the Make You podcast, the other adverts will be within their own recording. I'm not sure if you'll get what I'm saying, or if it makes sense what I'm saying.
I hear you.
So to me, the way I see it, I may be wrong, but I say it's a two-way. I don't want to say two-point system. Remember earlier we were talking about the two-point system. so this is revenue coming in two ways. Hollywood reached out directly to McG, and then there's another ad revenue from Vaseline, if it's Pampers or even that, whatever, coming directly from YouTube. So, what you'll say about that? I don't want us to drag on this thing, because I'm sure there's more footages to go through regarding this uh, podcast regulatory stuff,
But let me
regulation stuff.
respond. Let me say my 2 cents, and then we can play another clip. What I want to say about this is the reason why I said, if you MD are giving Venus the money, and then Venus gives me the money, And I'm saying that that money, I got it from Venus. I didn't get it from you. What I mean by that is that when it comes to YouTube, right? I think maybe Venus, you were trying to maybe somehow mention that as well, but I'm gonna try to give somewhat of a broader picture. You know,
Yeah.
so what happens is, I have a YouTube channel. Let's say I have 500K subscribers, right? And then if you are a viewer of YouTube, you're watching, right? What you're gonna see? You're gonna see adverts, right? And then you
Mm.
see Vaseline, you're gonna see sunlight, you're gonna see whatever you see. But the thing is, those ads, there's so many companies, bruh. So many companies that want to be advertised through YouTube or Google, whatever. So if you have a company, it doesn't mean that your money came directly to me, because it's not only you that put in the money for advertisement. Range Rover, Dove, Sunlight, Oros, Aromat, Chicken Licken, KFC, all these people, they all put money to advertise on YouTube. So what happens is YouTube receives a lot of money from different companies, and then they use those ads to put into random YouTubers, so that's
Based on algorithm.
based on the algorithm, of course, but also so that the viewers can get to see those adverts, so that they can um, show the people that, okay, we making adverts, right?
Yeah, we
So
are
when it
posting
comes to
your
that,
things.
yeah. So when it comes to that, you don't have a choice in what ad you can see, or you can view, or you can show. You're just gonna see, you know. But then there's what they call sponsors. So let's say, for example, uh, Reboost energy drink, for example. Let's say they come to us right now, this podcast here, and they give us a sponsor and they say, look, man, we like what you're doing. We want to sponsor you. But in
True.
return, we
Like,
want you to advertise us, on your platform. So that's different, because they're gonna sponsor us. They're gonna sponsor watch time, which means we're gonna, like, not dedicate a show to them, but we're gonna have a show where we have we have sponsors. I mean, we have Reboost bottles all around, the logo, everything, because we're trying to advertise them. And then they're gonna give us directly the money, because they spoke to us directly. And that's the only time where you can say, hey, like, you got the money straight from the company. But if I'm YouTube and there's so many companies that are giving me money, and then I have my company that has a lot of people that are doing content, and then I just put on ads over there, those content creators don't have a clue where that is coming from, because now it's so much money combined together. You don't even know where this money is coming from at this point. You don't know which money you are getting. So which means at the end of the day, you're just getting advertisement money that is coming from YouTube, because they're not even giving the whole of that money. They're giving you just a percentage, you know. So that's why I think it's different. But then, Venus, were you saying you have 10% left?
no, I was saying 100% on what you're saying, because you said what I was saying. You're gonna put it more broader. You're gonna expand it more, and I think you
Uh-huh.
did a perfect job on that, because you are right. To what I was referring to when it comes to Make G, Hollywood, you'll find out they are their sponsors. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? They are their sponsor, and then there are those adverts from, like, random adverts from YouTube that are going to come, like you said, Vaseline, whether it's Range Rover, whether it's what. So that's YouTube. So that's why my answer earlier on was in two ways. But that sums it up perfectly what you just said. But we have to move along now. I'm sorry to be the time guy. But what I
All right,
wanted to
let me
say earlier,
okay.
no, can I finish saying this? There's something you'll say earlier before things we talk too much, but it's a good thing, man. It's good for the platform because this is a good thing about the podcast. We are not timed. Let's say it's a 30-minute segment show. It's an hour segment show. We can go on for 4 hours. That's the beauty thing about this thing. We are not
There's no rules.
regulated by the. We
It's
can.
not regulated by the government.
So we can. Exact. So I don't know. I
Yes,
even lost track.
yes,
I even
yes.
because we've talked about so many things. There's something MD said earlier, but what I wanted to say, this whole thing is all about regulations, right? The only reason we said it's money, and then I said the other point, maybe my 60%, it's because they want to control. This whole thing, whatever MD said, maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes ago, what he made me think of was that this whole thing, this internet thing is I'm streaming on my phone or whether it's streaming on your computer or your laptop. We don't pay TV licenses. We just buy laptops. We just buy cell phones. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for TV licenses. There are people who will get SMSs or emails for them reminding them to pay their TV license. So can you imagine how much they are losing, the public broadcasters alone, as more people are attending or shying away from television alone? You know, it's a lot of money because me myself, I can't recall okay, I do watch television now and then, but I wouldn't say it's watching. I will just be browsing through channels because it's something I'm not used to anymore. But if I had really had to trace back when was the last time I really focused on television, it's more than 10 years ago, even 15 years ago. So it's in TV license. They make money from TV license. If 20 million South Africans are paying for TV license, for how much is TV license? Let's say maybe it's 100 Rand a month. It's 100 Rand once off, or maybe a year. How much money are they making from 20 million South Africans paying TV licenses? Just making an example. So
The fact that there's a
DSTV,
TV license in J, that's like out
TV
of
license
bound,
alone it's
offside.
separate, and then there's DSTV. It's even being purchased recently by a French company. They
Look
weren't
at
doing. I
that.
don't think they were gonna sell it. They weren't gonna sell it if it was doing so well, but it wasn't doing so well. The French company purchased what? DSTV. Okay, trace back, like, because DSTV, I've been reading last year and the year after that they've been losing 2.7 billion rand in revenue, which means I don't know how many people, but they're no longer paying for for their DSTV. So I can't really pinpoint what MD said earlier, but it was gonna get to the point, which made me reaching this point, which is TV license, DSTV, they are losing money, but then again, that's just the private companies attacking the government, stressing the government to do something about this because they are losing out. They don't want to let go of this traditional media thing, the satellite, whatever, television, whatever, because it still has potential according to them. And then here we are on the internet. We don't pay for DSTV. We don't pay for TV licenses. The only thing we gotta pay for is data or internet. For us to watch whatever we wanna watch. You know, So it's a double-edged sword. It's a two sides of the same coin. It's the corporate side, and then on the head it's the corporate side. On the tails it's the government side. The corporate side wants to keep their traditional norms or ways of making for them to make money, and then on the government side, they don't want these
They want
people
to
to have the
protect
freedom of
themselves.
speech to say whatever they want to say because uh, as much as you know what this podcasting thing did some damage in the South African political last year's political polls, if I'm not mistaken. Not as
Elections.
much as they did, yeah, elections. Not as much they did in the U.S. elections. In the U.S. elections, what's this guy? Donald Trump, Mr. Donald Trump. He won because of the
President
podcast
Donald
space.
Trump.
Yeah, President Donald Trump. He won because he was attending podcast sessions. He abandoned, not entirely, but I would say 80% of his campaign was based on podcast. And then 20% of his campaign was based on what? Traditional media. And because of that, he won the election. Same thing happened here in South Africa. I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, or last of last year. You all can correct me on that. Things to us, sometimes they come later or earlier. Social, like I've seen, like there were a lot of political parties going to Sizwe Mpofu's Walsh platform, and those people who are going there, they did gain some votes in such a way. I'm not saying 100% that that's the cause, but NC lost a lot of votes, and there were a lot lesser NC politicians going across these podcast platforms. So what I'm trying to the picture I'm trying to paint here is that on the government side, they are losing the credibility. People can speak whatever you know. Yeah, but see, yeah.
So
All right.
Let's
Okay,
finish the
MD.
video.
MD,
uh,
look. I just wanna real quick, just to say something. Traditional media in media, I'm sure MD, because maybe you're doing this, it's referred to as old media, and then social media is referred to as new media. So it's old media versus new media. But before we get there, let me just play this video speaking about DCV, about this chick on ENCA, which is a news channel in Africa. And there's a chick that is speaking about this. Apparently, she supposedly supports what the government is saying, but I don't know. Venus gave me the video, so this is gonna be the first time I'm seeing it, and MD is gonna be the first time that he's seeing it. I think maybe Venus, you've seen it a bit, but as soon as we finish the video, I want MD to comment first. So maybe MD, you can
Because I've been talking so
want.
much. I'm joking.
Yeah, but maybe MD, you can say what you wanted to say right now, and then add on the new points. But let me first play the video, and then you're going to be the first one to speak.
Perfect.
No, that's the wrong one.
That this may risk infringing on freedom of expression.
All right, so here's the video on the ENCA. So let's listen to it, and then we'll talk about it.
Now, some worry that this may risk infringing on freedom of expression and stifling digital creativity. Podcasts by some are seen as this platform where you have the freedom to say what you really think. What's your response to that, the fear that this might stifle creativity?
Nothing could be further from the truth. And I want to start from a point that says, as South Africans, we have lived through a history of censorship, a history where people were not allowed to freely impart their ideas. And the last thing I believe that any South African wants would be a return to that. So we believe and we will always protect the constitutionally enshrined right to freedom of expression. But as we do so, we also have a responsibility and as an obligation as South Africans, and I think also as people who have these platforms or who utilize these platforms to and also protect the right to equality, the right to dignity, the right to privacy, because all of these are rights in our constitution. Now, if you just look at our regulatory framework in the country, you can take print media, you can take broadcasting media. South Africa opted for a system that is part core regulation, part self-regulation, largely self-regulation. You have members of the media, and the media, unfortunately, at this point in time, which is the point I was making around the legal vacuum, the media is defined in the Broadcasting Act as being either community, commercial, or public broadcasting. So it doesn't extend far enough to your online media. But those media organizations have come together in voluntary associations such as the Press Council, in the case of print, where they join up, they write up, agree and adhere to a code of practice or a code of ethics. And then whenever people need, recourse or remedy from any harmful expression in the media, they're able to approach those bodies. Similarly, the Broadcasting Complaints Commission for your radio and TV broadcasts.
Okay. So, MD, what you gotta say about that? First, maybe if you still remember what you were saying before, you can say that point. But also, I wanna hear your thoughts on this thing. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to first thank the guy for raising this point of TV license, because I've been asking myself, even today, I don't understand that, because at home we bought
That's weird.
the new TV after the old one. I think back in 2020, 2022, yes. Back in 2022, I bought the new TV after the old one. I bought the new TV, and they said I must pay for TV license. I was like, okay, I'm paying for DSTV already. What is TV license for? You see, I didn't understand that. They said no, you can't take the TV while you didn't pay the TV license. You have to pay the TV license first, then you can release the TV. I was like, okay, it's fine. I have to. Then every month, I've been getting the notification saying I have to pay the TV license. I have to pay 150. The next month 170, 200. Now, I want someone to please clarify this for me. What is the use of TV license? Really, I don't get it. Because already I'm paying for DSTV, I'm paying for Netflix, Showmax, and everything. Why I have to pay for TV license?
It's crazy. Okay, I don't have the answer. I'm gonna let Venus take that, but I just wanna say this thing. I've never understood what's the use of a TV license. You're telling me to watch television, I need a license, bro. The same way I need a license to drive, I need a license to watch TV. What the
Now
fuck?
you need a permission for you need a permission for everything in this country, my man.
Everything, bro. At the end, we're gonna need permission to fart, bro. At this point. But do you have an answer there, Venus? What's the use of TV license?
Yeah, you got
let me say this. No, I ain't got the answers, way. I ain't got the answers. I ain't got the answer for real. Because I brought that shit up because me myself I don't understand it. I mean, like I said before, I think the last time I really focused on watching television was beyond 15 years ago.
15 years back, yeah.
I remember. I don't wanna go back to the college days now, but bro, I don't watch TV. I never paid for TV license in my life, my entire life. You know.
Man, I had to,
like I said, I don't have the answers because it doesn't make any sense that am I paying TV license for? I only have questions. Am I paying TV license for buying a television? Okay, that's the first question. Maybe the second one is not even a question. Remember when we were using aerials?
Yeah.
For me, maybe it will make 30% of for a reason for me to pay for a TV license if I was using aerial. I mean, it's a frequency governed by the government. What do you know I'm saying? You know when we used to go on our houses roofs and you will look for a signal and then you're like, oh, hey, now is it Camille, Asmug, you know? I would understand
Yeah,
that. But
because
those
if
days are but those days are gone.
yeah,
Came
I really do get that
DSTV
point.
in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
And then you buy a TV, nobody cares about the aerial. No one is going to use an aerial when there's DSTV. I mean, that's why DSTV, as much as it's declining in terms of consumption, the people who are paying for DSTV and what along these years, but also each and every shack in the township has a DSTV. Why?
Facts.
Because it's clearer, crystal clear, like
More channels.
it is what more channels. Even if you're paying 100 a month, maybe you get 15 channels. I'm not sure. I don't even know what's their package at this point in time.
because
So I don't have the answers. I only have the questions.
if if I was using that free frequency, then like it would make sense to me to pay
To
for
pay.
TV license. Yes, but as yet I'm not using the free frequency. I'm already paying multi-choice to stream, man. I'm paying Netflix. Yet have to pay the TV license. What for? I think that is something that they need to work on because now they are scamming us. They are really
You
scamming
know,
us.
you just triggered another thought in my mind. I'm not sure if it's useful or not, but the thing that I'm thinking now is, you know, not as us as human beings, we cannot cheat death. All of us are gonna die at some point.
Yeah,
And if you look at and if you take a look back in the past, there are things that came. I mean, just to make a quick an example, Nokia used to dominate the telecommunicate mobile telephone
the
what
industry.
headset the industry.
Yeah,
Nokia used to dominate. What happened to them? They died. Motorola
but
died.
they are
Sony
still.
Ericsson died. Now I'm talking about here in South Africa. So I'm referring this back, comparing it to the satellite, the normal satellite thing where we used to search for channels. You know, not satellite, but the aerial era, and then the
Yeah.
satellite. Even the satellite era, it's gone. Yes, there are some people who are using it because we all adapt at our own pace to these things. So it's them refusing not to die. The death is here. It's knocking at the door. They don't want to die. And then because they are refusing to die because, for example, the frequency is owned by the government. What when you pay? So they make it. It's so crazy that the TV has nothing to do with the government. You're already paying a tax, a VAT that you're buying a television, and then you must pay a TV license that you're never ever gonna use. The same SABC, which is a public broadcasting network, is on DSTV. You're paying for it there. They are paying based on views. They are making monthly on how many people are watching DSTV, but they are charging you for that.
I think
And
this topic is so deep. I think we should we should arrange a day for it and keep it
yeah, so
like
that we don't get away from the regulatory thing.
yes and give it a proper time. So currently
Yeah.
it's so sad, guys, that I have to leave you because I'm out of battery now. I'm only 2%. But I would like to say thank you guys for all those who are watching, whether you're watching now or later. It's either morning, day, or afternoon. Now I hope like you have learned something, you enjoy the show and everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Here we are having good chat. Peace.
Good night, my brother. It's almost 2 a.m. in South Africa. We're live. So, what I wanted to say, I can't hear you on my line now. I don't know maybe the earphones died.
Oh, no. My fault. My mic was
Now I can hear
muted.
you. Now I can hear you.
My mic was muted. All right.
No, sorry,
I
sorry.
want to say, okay, yes. Shout out to MD. MD, he also has some channels. So whenever I can get a chance to put them in the description so you guys can find all of us in our individual channels and whatnot. But right now, I don't know. I don't see the need as of yet because we're just starting out. So as soon as
Yeah, still, no.
yeah, but as soon as we get the audience that we see that okay, then we can start promoting ourselves way better. Right now, we're just trying to promote the show. But thanks to MD, MD is gonna come back again. We're still gonna have a chat. But then I wanna play this video of Mac G and Solo the Magic podcast reacting, and then you'll say what you wanted to say, and then you also comment on it, and then maybe we can get to the end. So let me just play this video real quick. Is this the old video?
I think it's something recent.
All right, let me play it. Let me
I think
play
it's
it.
To
something.
regulate podcasts. South Africa's parliament is set to host a high-stakes roundtable on Tuesday, 24th of March, 2026, that's tomorrow, to discuss regulating the nation's booming podcast sector. Thanks to Njaya.
He's mentioned it.
Led by Kusela Sangoni Diko. She's the one who chimed in when we were going through the thing. Yeah. And they were sure like, these guys need to be...
the Diko they are talking about, is it the same woman that that we just played from ENCA?
Yeah, I have more to say, but I just recall my thoughts. Yes, it's the same woman. But now, what I wanted to say earlier on the NCA interview, she seemed like a person who's friendly towards the freedom of speech. She made all these quotations, once like this in the past, but deep down, you can read down that she's against it. The freedom,
Not even deep
the freedom
down.
of speech.
I think she did say when she said, what did she say? She said that South Africa has a history of censorship, and she didn't have a problem with that.
But now they're about to censor us. Okay.
Okay, let me continue.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite MPs. She always speaks sense, except for now. The committee aims to balance public interest protection with the rapid growth of digital creators' economy. As podcasts increasingly influence news and culture, officials are exploring how existing laws apply to on-demand audio, which is podcast. The dialogue involving regulators, legal experts, and platforms will focus on creating a co-regulatory model. The goal is to establish accountability, but they removed Clement Shaw because he wanted accountability. The goal is to establish accountability and complaint mechanisms without stifling the innovation and diverse voices currently driving the industry. So that's where we are. And I know there's been a white paper for the longest time, and this is where it's at now, clearly. So there's going to be laws eventually passed by Parliament. Plus it's West now, the DA is now eating. So no one is going to push back. Maybe MK probably, but no one... But they might not all push back because they are all politicians and they all don't want accountability. Yes. So all of them might agree and say, actually, Brabant, fuck is a podcast. They might all just agree. Yeah. Even if they're not under one party.
BCCSA for podcasting.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
But it's fine. We'll just relocate, guys. We'll go to Mauritius.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because they don't have a law like that.
No. They don't have a law in Mauritius like that.
No, but okay, wait.
Plus it's
4 hours away. One flight.
Exactly.
But wait.
Yeah.
Oh, we changed it from podcasting to vodcasting.
Yeah.
They didn't mention vodcasting.
No, there's a void there. Well, you want to pin that void. Voidcasting.
Vodcasting.
Or maybe more avoid podcasting.
Avoid podcasting.
I wonder what's that going to look like. Because think about it. So, we're South African. We are podcasting. Let's say we're podcasting in a room, right? And we're like, we are in England.
Yeah.
But We're here in red.
I've thought of that one. I've thought of that one. Like you pretend as if you're in Mauritius, but you're still here in SA. So how are they gonna regulate that? Maybe they're gonna go back to our trace back our traveling. What see if we book the ticket to Mauritius?
You see, it's crazy, but I don't know. I think maybe we should just give our final thoughts. Maybe combine our final thoughts with the video that we just watched, and then
I think there's a last one you need to play though. No, this is not the last one. I'm sure there's a last
it's
one.
the last one. It's the last. Oh,
The lady.
all right. Let me play her.
No. We can. I don't know. We have anything to say on this one.
No, we're gonna combine the
Sum it up.
conversation. Let me play. Yeah, I'm gonna sum it up. Let me
When the
play
government
her.
starts
Okay,
talking
cool.
about regulating podcasts, that's a huge red flag. That is an infringement on freedom of speech. And I don't really think it has much to do with regulating or coming at it from a peaceful perspective. It's about
Facts.
censoring people.
True.
It's about controlling the narrative. Podcasts are a
100%.
space for raw, unfiltered conversations. They're the one space where we kind of know that versus mainstream media that's
But that's the problem. That's the exact problem. That's what they don't want. They know exactly that podcasts are that type of space. So now they are making sure that, hey, let's destroy all of that because it has
And
potential to expose us.
people are so tired of the well produced type of ish or shit, if I can say that.
Scripted.
Scripted things, yeah. So people want real things, want real thoughts. Cause I don't mean to waste time, but long time ago I thought to myself like I asked myself, I didn't know it then, but I asked myself, why do the news anchors never give us their thoughts, their own opinions? And then I came
That's a
across some
different story.
things. Yeah, I came across some law barring, like preventing them from doing such, because once they do that, it's a totally different
But
story.
just to add, I don't want to hear news anchors telling their own opinions, bro. Because when it comes to mainstream media, like, bro, they shouldn't be even talking about nothing, bro. They should be just telling us the news, bro.
And not control the narratives. But
and
okay,
not control the narrative, because we're supposed to be getting news from them, and then we'll talk about it, unless they're having panel shows and then they're having
dissect it ourselves. Like what's this guy's name? I forgot his name. But yeah.
Okay, let me continue.
that we can get the closest to the truth versus mainstream media that's just pushing propaganda. If the government wants to decide what's acceptable and what needs licensing, that's a tactic for silencing. That's a tactic for hiding the truth. So before we let this become law, we need to ask ourselves, are these regulations truly for our benefit, or are they just a subtle move towards censoring? And I think it's the latter.
First of all, I want to say this about this woman. She's beautiful.
Yeah,
she's
the
very
blueberry skin, blue or blackberry skin, like with light chocolate. No, man, some cocoa. I want some cocoa, South African cocoa. I didn't know we have cocoa in South Africa, bro.
She's well put. She's sophisticated. She deserves to be held down, to be protected, to be loved, to have children, to be a wife, and then have a
whatever prosperity.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's very rarely that you see a woman speaking the truth, But when she's speaking the truth, I'm very proud of her. You know what I mean? Because I don't.
There was no agenda. She was just on the main subject.
Yeah.
Focused. addressing the main issue, because sometimes they tend to,
Because
there's a word I'm looking for.
most of the time when I see women online, I see booty and titties. That's the woman that I see. Most of the time. So when I see a woman on social media that is got a good head on her shoulders and is a human, you know what I mean? Just a human being type of thing. I love it. So
And I
yes, I
think
200% agree.
we'll give a title, a logical female thinker.
Or maybe just a logical thinker, minus the
Yeah, not
female. She's
minus the
just a
female.
logical
So
thinker, you know.
so I don't get to be sexist.
Yeah, because I think she deserves to be treated like a human because
Yeah.
she's truthful. You know what I mean? I don't know.
There
Maybe
was no
she's
agenda there. It
a
was
liar
just
in her life, whatnot. But at this particular point, she was just stating facts, and she sounds like she's a facts stater.
yeah.
So yes, my point would be that I do agree with her, and I think we've been saying this that it's censorship, and the most part that the part that I agree with her the most is probably her saying that this is a tactic, because it is a tactic. It's 100% a
Uh,
tactic, and I've been mentioning that even when we spoke in private, not online. I've been saying that it's just a plan, it's just a tactic, it's just what they. I said that most of the time, if it's the government involved or the powers that be, what they're gonna use, they're gonna put out something as controversy, so that people, when they receive it as controversy, and then when they go about it, it's gonna seem as if it was their own decision. I even made an example with alcohol or even drugs. Drugs are promoted as bad for you. They're gonna kill you, all those things. But guess what? People are taking
we
drugs.
wanna try them.
You know what I'm saying? So, which means that they know what is going to get people doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, they do this tactic. So, if you tell people that, uh, this thing is that, whatnot, and push it out as a bad thing, people are going to be, you know what? Let me do that. And then you're going to find a lot of people supporting censorship out of nowhere. And I'm telling you, you're going to find them. You know, but I do agree with the sister. I disagree with the sister that was on the ENCA platform. And but overall, my point is, let's not let them do this to us. Even if they do, let's continue fighting. Let's speak the truth. They want to censor us. Let's continue speaking the truth. Let's continue fighting for our rights, because fuck these people, bro. Who the fuck do they think they are that they can make fucking stupid laws for us to stop us from speaking something? Do they know that we can take them down, bro? I'm not saying we're gonna shoot them. We're not promoting violence. I'm not promoting violence. But we can take them down as a voice of South African citizens, because I mean, generally, or I guess ideally, we have a voice, right? Because we can vote, right? And we can criticize these people. But now they want them, because they've already cheated the elections many a times. So now they want to stop us from even speaking, bro. So that's crazy to me, bro. So fuck these people, bro. And I'm gonna tell them right now, bro. You're not stopping us, bro. You never will stop us. We're gonna continue speaking, and then probably even get the power or the money to implement institutions that gonna rival your institutions, so that we can replace you in a way. Because you are bad leaders, you are bad examples, and you are bad in those positions. You're doing a bad job in the position that you are in. So yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna comment on the two videos, but the first thing I can say about the lady, something Tico. I'm not well versed on this, but you remember during the COVID-19 days, there was this scandal. I don't know what her husband did, but she sort of stepped away because her husband was allegations again. Okay, let me just say, because they think we just say things, so let's use the word allegations. I don't even know if her husband was persecuted or something. But her husband did something, allegedly did something during the COVID-19 days, and she was somehow forced to step away, and then she was brought back. But here's the thing: as a Zulu man, since we are all Zulu in a way, maybe you can relate. I can hide certain things from my wife, but there are certain things I cannot hide from my wife. Do you really think if allegedly her husband did something with the COVID-19, what, she wouldn't know about it?
She 100% knows, bro. She knows everything. She's
But
probably the one that
somehow,
made it possible.
somehow she made it back to the parliament, and she was even somewhere in the ad hoc committee, and you can see her biasness. Now, this is not allegedly. You can see her biasness protecting Minister Mkun. And she'll often say, I'm not protecting Minister Mkun. I just want to clarify, you know? So that's who she is. And she's an anti-government. So she's got her own agenda. This is not allegedly, this is my take on it, my opinion. She's got her own agenda on that. And with this regulation thing closing up, as we are running out of time now, this thing of regulating podcasts is, I mean, like I said before, they are desperate, and it's less about the money, more about the control. They don't want us, since now we are into the space, so I'll count us as well. They don't want us to speak our mind. And the moment you don't speak our minds, the moment our freedom of speech is prohibited, or is
Facts.
English that's a God, I'm not sure even sure I'm using the correct name. English is not my home language. So I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. But the main thing, like this entire thing, all these videos we've been reviewing and reacting to, the main thing is, as much as South Africa will be regarded as the giant of Africa, like, how are they
The number
judging
one
that?
giant.
That's what they're saying. But us, South Africans who stay here in South Africa, me and you, I'm not going to get into deeper with this. We are educated, not PhD level educated, but we are educated. You know, we did our share of what's required of us, what some of us, people like us, are told to get educated. You will get
We did
jobs.
the right thing.
You know, we ticked all the boxes they wanted us to tick. They told us as leaders to do. And look,
And then they told us at the end, it doesn't matter.
we are not struggling. We are not struggling. As we are sitting right here, and you and I, we ate. Our stomachs are full. But what I'm trying to say is, these people, they've been promoting all these things. I would say wrong things at this point, because I'm unemployed. You know, I'm educated, but I'm unemployed. I was told to get educated so I can get a job, so I can what. So that thing didn't work. Even her, before this whole thing, now, like few minutes ago, I told you about her possibility of imperfection. Watch it, allegedly, with the PEP corruption during COVID-19. What. So these people are on these platforms. She's a minister, if I'm not mistaken. She's like, she hasn't been, if the right word is vindicated, or like whatever the wrongdoings. But let me not get off scripture. What I'm trying to say is, we are the youth of South Africa. We are educated. We are not employed. We're told we're gonna get jobs, and then comes the internet. Well, it's been there for some time. Here we are now. We found our way along these years to where at first it was as if it's against us.
To figure it out.
Yeah, we were figuring out this internet thing, and we have You know, they didn't. They failed to provide us with funding of any sort. You know, they'll give the funding to their own people based on nepotism, whatever. And then we
Corruption.
try to figure this thing out on our own, and it's not even working out for 90%, 95% of us. Maybe even the 3%, like make cheese, maybe
99%.
S,
99%.
yeah, 99%, maybe 1% of make cheese and SMWX. I'm sorry to make an example out of them because they are the biggest, you know. I know, not we know, but I know. So we figure this thing out, like hundreds and thousands of YouTubers, bro, are not even earning 10,000, not even earning 5,000 rand a month on their channel. And then here are these people with the
Not
law they
even 100.
passed. I think the law they passed it last year, and then they want us to disclose our revenue, whatever, whatnot. They want us to disclose how much we're earning, how much we're spending, all these things. They don't even know how much it costs us to broadcast as we're broadcasting now live. They didn't do anything to support us to be able to do what we're doing now. This doesn't even cost 2,000 rand a month, but they don't know and they don't care. But as soon as this thing gets traction, they want to regulate it. They're fucking up
Imagine.
with our economy. It's not even a full-fledged economy yet, but it's in the beginning stages. So this is a proof that they don't want us to succeed. They don't want us
Facts.
to. Hey, I'm lost for words because I'm so
They
pissed.
don't want
As
the
I'm talking
country to
about
be
this, I'm
successful.
getting pissed and pissed and pissed and pissed.
Yeah, but look, man, you know what? Let's just close it out for tonight, for today, for some viewers out there, um, and say, you know what? The conversation is very fiery. There's so much to say, but we just want to thank everyone who's watching right now, everyone who's liked the video, everyone who's commented, and everyone who understands the mission and who understands that, hey, man, we need to join and be together and fight against all this corruption and misusing the law and trying to like personalize laws. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Like yes, I'm LA. You know, you can follow me on LA Reacts. You know, Reacts doesn't have an S on the end; it has an X, not S, but an X. X marks the
Can I
square, so it's LA Reacts, and then yeah, just subscribe on this channel
I'm,
and make
I'm
sure
not
that you keep.
on any platform as yet, but I just wanna end with something. If life experience as we're living it is not scripted, why are we scripting it? Just think about that.
That's a
Peace.
nice note to end it on. Yeah. So yes, we'll see you tomorrow, possibly the next day, but hopefully tomorrow. And we'll see next week how we structure.
I think we're broadcasting during the day tomorrow. I'm not sure, but we still have to confirm it.
Yeah, we'll confirm. But you'll see, guys. There's no need to be announcing stuff because there's like two of you who are watching right now.
And then soon
But
it's gonna be hundred thousands of you.
yes, yeah, well. So yes, we'll see you on the flip side. Yeah. So peace.